Hello, Fred Gar here. I want to welcome all the members of the Secret Silver Stacking Society. And in this video, this is probably going to be my third video on the stimulus. So, I think a lot of people get confused. A lot of people say, we can't afford to give a stimulus to Americans. We can't afford to pay them $2,000 a month. Now, I want you to think for a minute. They are sending trillions of dollars overseas. We have green deals where we say, okay, we're going to give you X amount of dollars for you to promise us, not binding, no consequences, to promise us that you will reduce your greenhouse gas emissions. And we're going to give you this money. And once the agreement is complete, there's no teeth in it. There's nothing in it that prevents them, if they don't reduce their greenhouse gas emissions, where they have to pay the money we gave them back. So there's all kinds of deals going on like that, where foreign countries are getting money. There's countries that don't like America, and they're getting money. So a lot of people say, well, Fred, we can't afford it, but yet we're giving trillions of dollars to countries overseas that don't really like America, or don't take America seriously with these green deals that we make. There's no consequences. It's just free money given away. Another thing is, a lot of people says, well, we can't afford $1,200 stimulus like the first stimulus because it was $1 trillion package. So what I want you to do, and then the next package also, I'll just bring this to clarify. The reason we got less is because it was only $900 billion. But here's where the math comes in. Don't be fooled by the political theater or the political games. Because if you take $180 billion, you can type it on your calculator, or if you have a smartphone, you should have a calculator in there. Put in $180 billion into your calculator. Then divide that by 2,000. You should come out to 90 million. Now, for these stimulus packages, you have to make, I believe, $75,000 to $150,000 a year to be eligible. But here's the thing. If we can cover 90 million people, I'm telling you, there should be around that number for people that are eligible. 90 million. So we can give 90 million people a $2,000 stimulus for $180 billion. So we didn't need the $900 billion to give everybody 2,000s. But see, the Republicans, what they did during that time, and I'm not trying to say I'm all for what Republicans do or all for what Democrats do. I think both parties are shady. They're both playing mind games. So the Republicans are acting like, since we had a skinny bill passed and we gave, since it was a skinny bill, we can only afford to give a certain amount of money, like $600 to every American citizen. We couldn't give them more than that. Well, that's a lie, because I just showed you with the math. 180 billion can cover 90 million people getting a $2,000 check. So when the Republicans are trying to fight to cut down the size of these stimulus bills, there's no excuse why you and I and the people that are eligible can't get a $2,000 stimulus. So the games are being played in Washington and politics, and I think people got to wake up. And I hope that you send this out to people. You send this video out to people. Yes, there's some silver. A lot of this silver is I just picked up from some of these prior videos. You've seen these different types of silver that I've shown you before. But my point is, I want to bring this up because a lot of people say we can't afford it. That's one of the arguments. Another argument is, we shouldn't give money back to people like that. But here's the thing. Where would you want the money to go? You want the money to go overseas? Or do you want the money to go into America? That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to justify anything. All I am doing is looking at the math. And the math shows for 180 billion, 90 million Americans can get a $2,000 check. So I just don't want people to think that this is not workable. This is not functional. And it is workable. It is functional. And it is possible. So like I said, you do the math, look at the numbers, share this video with people. I want to spark a conversation between Republicans and Democrats. And I know a lot of people say, well, Fred, people should lift themselves up by their bootstraps. But I want you to understand this shutdown that originally happened and this pandemic that originally happened. With the shutdown, a lot of people, millions of Americans lost their jobs. Now, the government were the ones orchestrating the shutdown. So at no fault of the people who lost their jobs, the million of people who lost their job, of no fault of their own, because of the shutdown, they ended up losing their job. So that's why I say we need a stimulus check to help bridge the gap for people that are unemployed or working jobs where they're underemployed. Get a $2,000 check to try to bridge the gap so they can maybe go back to school or get a skilled trade like I talk about on this channel, or, be able to pay their bills. So I just think the games, we got to pull the veil back, guys. We got to pull the veil back. Now, some people are in a good enough position where they get a $2,000 check and they don't need it. And they have their savings, they have multiple streams of income, they're already doing well, and they say, hey, I'm going to use some of that money to buy some silver. And I'm not against that. I'm not against buying silver. I'm just saying that let's be wise. Let's be wise about what this stimulus is, who's eligible, how we can pay for it, because we can. If they can afford to give trillions of dollars to foreign countries that don't even like us, that want us dead, we should be able to get that stimulus. And that's all I'm saying, guys. That's all I'm trying to say, is don't buy into the games. Call up your congressmen, call up the senators, and let them know, hey, look, a lot of us out here are hurting. Look at this tone. Oh my goodness, it's toning. Crazy. But anyways, a lot of us are out here hurting. And, hey, bridge the gap, guys. Washington, bridge the gap. That's why you have a lot of protests going on right now. Because people are tired of the games. Bridge the gap. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, Fred, why does it have to be us? Why does it have to be us? Well, Canada has been giving checks to their people during this COVID situation, pandemic situation. I just said the word. The Great Britain, UK, is giving people monthly checks. Okay? Well, why not America? Because we have two parties playing games. I really believe that we should put an end to the two-party system, and there should be a third party in there to help balance the scales. A lot of people disagree with that. A lot of people want to say, well, look at what happened with Ross Perot and all this. On all levels, we need to have a third party, not just on the executive level. We need it locally. There needs to be a third party presence. At the Senate level, there needs to be a third party presence. On the congressional level, there needs to be a third party presence. And then your presidential candidates, there should be a third party presence. And I know a lot of people are saying we can't do that. That's not possible. But I'm telling you right now, this type of political climate could lead to a civil war. And a lot of people could get hurt. We have people, whether you believe it was conservatives or far right, or you think it was some kind of plot, we still had people that stormed the Capitol. Okay, some people say, well, they weren't all conservatives. They were really left-wing groups that did it. I don't know any of that. I don't know, I don't know whether that's true or not, but for the first time in my life, people were storming the Capitol. They had to barricade doors. because people were coming in. I don't know if those people excuse me, were armed. I don't know what's going on, but I will say this. The division between Republicans and Democrats are so wide, and there's so much indoctrination, and there's so many people that aren't able to look at the games being played on both sides. You give us a you give us a $600 billion stimulus alternative, but yet you give the people a little bit of money, but you give special interest groups or foreign countries that have nothing to do with the pandemic billions of dollars. Okay? And then funny is, I remember in one of the bills, the Smithsonian got $1 billion and it was closed. What's up with that? Why are you giving a business $1 billion and they're closed? Doesn't make sense. And maybe I shouldn't say a business, I should say a museum. Well, why are you giving a closed museum $1 billion? Something's up with that. It doesn't cost $1 billion to run a museum, in my opinion. Okay, guys, so I just went on a wild tangent about the stimulus. I went on a wild tangent about can we afford to pay it? But I really believe if our politicians, which they're supposed to be public servants, that's what they originally were supposed to be, public servants, trying to help the public. Where the public, yes, I know some people say people need to believe in less government, they need to stand up on their own feet. I can understand that. But you know what? There's people out there that need a hand up. And I'm not going to be cold-hearted and say, you know what? Don't give them a hand up. I believe in a hand up. And with a hand up, you know, once you get to a point where you can sustain it, you know, we move on, you know. All right, guys. This video's gone on for a long time, but I just thought I'd share my views with you guys. I may lose a couple subscribers, I may gain a couple subscribers, or I may stay stagnant. But I just want you to know I care about you. I care about our country. I care about our community. I care about people. And I want people to see. The lies, the disinformation that are being promoted on both sides of the aisle, as they say. All right, Fred Gar here. I better head out. I know the video is going on a long time. And remember, with just 15 ounces to your name, it puts you 99% ahead of the game, as Silver 5150 says. And just 15 ounces to your name makes you a member of the secret Silver Stacking Society. Fred Gar here. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.